In the mid-14th century, Europe faced chaos. Cities were crowded and sanitation was poor. Medical knowledge was very limited. People lived close to animals and waste. Daily life offered little protection from disease. An invisible threat was already moving across lands. It traveled through ships and trade routes. That threat became known as the Black Death. Within a few years, it killed millions and reshaped European history forever. The plague began in Central Asia and spread slowly along major roads. The Silk Road carried more than goods across continents. Merchants unknowingly carried infection with them. In 1447, merchant ships reached southern Europe. Many sailors arrived sick and exhausted. Some had already died during the journey. Cargo was unloaded beside the living and the dead. Ports became entry points for disease. Europe was unprepared for what had arrived. The illness spread with frightening speed through towns. Streets filled with fear and confusion. Victims developed sudden fever and weakness. Painful swellings appeared on the body. These swellings were known as buboes. Dark spots formed on the skin and signaled internal bleeding. This gave the plague its name. Most victims died within days and survival was rare. Entire households vanished in a single week. There was no effective treatment and no clear explanation. Fear spread faster than the disease itself. Medieval medicine relied on tradition and belief. Doctors followed ancient theories without proof. Many blamed poisoned air or bad smells. Others blamed the stars and planets in the sky. Medical knowledge offered comfort, but not solutions. Some believed the plague was divine punishment. Others saw it as fate beyond control. Plague doctors wore long masks filled with herbs. They believed strong smells offered protection. Long coats covered their bodies completely. Bloodletting was widely practiced across cities. Prayers and charms were also common. None of these methods stopped the disease. Death continued without mercy or pause. Villages were abandoned across Europe. Roads became silent and empty. Homes were left untouched and still. Fields went uncultivated for years. Crops rotted where they stood. Food shortages became more frequent. Trade routes collapsed rapidly. Local economies fell apart. Money lost its meaning in many regions. Families avoided one another out of fear. Parents fled from children and friends stopped visiting friends. Religious services became rare as fear increased. Many priests refused close contact. Some fled while others remained. Cemeteries quickly overflowed with the dead. Space for burial disappeared. Mass graves became common in many regions. Bodies were buried without ceremony. Death became part of daily life. Bells rang constantly in medieval towns and cities. Fear changed human behavior deeply. Trust between people disappeared. Social bonds weakened under pressure. Faith was shaken across society. Many questioned divine justice. Others became more devoted than ever. Panic increased social tension everywhere. Order became difficult to maintain. Communities struggled to survive during the crisis. Yet change followed devastation over time. Labor became more valuable as populations declined. Workers demanded higher wages and better conditions. Survivors gained new leverage in society. Old hierarchies began to crack. The feudal system slowly began to weaken. Traditional power structures lost control. New social dynamics emerged from loss. Medicine slowly began to evolve after the disaster. Observation gained importance over belief. Experience mattered more than tradition. Old theories were questioned by new thinkers. Art reflected death and time more openly. Paintings showed skeletons and fragile bodies. Literature focused on mortality and fragile life. By the early 1350s, the worst phase declined. The most intense wave had passed. However, outbreaks returned in later centuries. The plague never fully disappeared from Europe. Tens of millions had already died. Europe was permanently altered by loss. The Black Death became a turning point in history. From loss came transformation and change. From collapse came adaptation and survival. Humanity slowly rebuilt itself after catastrophe. The world that emerged was never the same again.